Hi everyone, this is Brian, your Honda Connection from DELLA Honda in Plattsburgh. I've got a 2018 Clarity plug-in hybrid here with me today. So there are three different versions of the Clarity, and again this is the plug-in hybrid version. Give you a quick exterior look of the car here. It does share most of the same body style as the rest of the three Clarity versions. There are a few minor differences. So let's start off under the hood here. I want to go over some of the powertrain features and some of the notable features, kind of an overview of those with you today. So it does have a 1.5 liter four-cylinder gasoline engine. It is not the 1.5 liter turbo found in most of the new Hondas, or a lot of the new Hondas today. It is a normally aspirated four-cylinder. And then that is coupled with the hybrid battery pack generators and motors. So the total system output, peak power, is 212 horsepower. The hybrid battery pack is a lithium-ion battery with a 17 kilowatt per hour capacity. And Honda has gone through a lot of different steps to help make this vehicle very efficient. One of which is using some aluminum panels to make the vehicle lighter. The hood, front fenders, doors, and deck lid are all aluminum. And we do have some aerodynamic touches here, right there and right in there. Air flows in and then is extracted right here in this vent, and that's to help smooth the airflow and reduce aerodynamic drag around the wheel wells. We have the same touch done to the rear wheel wells, where the air flows in here and then is extracted here in this vent. Again, smooth the airflow, less drag, better fuel mileage. The underside of the vehicle is also very smooth, like a lot of the new Hondas today, which helps reduce the drag even further. We do have the full Honda sensing suite of safety features, cameras up there, and the radar behind the Honda logo here. This does have the low speed follow function, so it will bring you to a complete stop when you're following a vehicle in front using the adaptive cruise control. We do have full LED nighttime, high beam, fog lights, and daytime lights here. As you can see, I do have it plugged in, currently charging with the factory supplied charging cable. Give you a view of what that looks like. And I do have it plugged into a standard outlet right now. And it also lights up there to indicate that it's charging. Now, of course, you can have a high-speed charging unit installed in your home as well to charge this very quickly. So let's unplug, close the charging port. We'll give you a view, actually, if you want to see what that looks like. And close the charging port, and then you're ready to go. So let's take a look in the cargo area here. Pretty roomy, pretty spacious. See if we can get it without the sun glare there. Alright, so it does have 60-40 split folding rear seats with the handle here and right here. And then this section right here would fold down. You see where it's split right there. We do have this kind of neat window right here, so if you're in the back seat you could actually see into the cargo area. And now when you're not using that factory charging cable, it does fit into this little pouch right here. And then you store it in this compartment here. As you see, there is no spare tire. We do have the Fix-A-Flat kit right here behind this panel. You just grab this and pull, and it's located right there. Alright, let's take a look in the back seat. We do have leather all the way around back here. We do have heat and AC vents and a power outlet there. Armrest and cup holders. Folds up like so. One kind of neat feature is it does have these cell phone pockets. That's what these are right here. So if you're sitting in the back riding in the vehicle, when you're sitting down it can be kind of difficult to get the phone out of your pocket. Don't have to worry about that. You just tuck it into here and then you've got easy access to it while you're riding in the car. There's one on both seat backs. Let's give you a view of the window sticker here. So the electric-only vehicle range on this Clarity is 47 miles. And then using the gasoline engine, the range does go up to 340 miles for a total range. Let's take a look inside now. So we do have the trunk release and the gasoline fuel door release right here. The electric charge cap is right here. Now I do want to point out on the smart key system, we don't have remote start like we do on some of the other Hondas today. This being a plug-in hybrid, we want it to be very efficient. We don't necessarily want to start the engine, but we can still pre-warm or cool the cabin. Hit lock, push and hold this fan button right here for about 3 seconds, and then that will set the climate control inside the car without starting the gasoline engine. This other button right here will actually pop the charge lid door. So push and hold that, pops the door so you can begin charging the hybrid battery of the vehicle. So let's go ahead and start it up. Foot on the brake, and then we'll hit the power button right there. And you can see the way everything lights up. So it says ready to drive. The gasoline engine does not fire up as long as there is sufficient battery charge. That's why it tells us it's ready to drive, because there is no engine noise. And on the side right here on the left, that is the hybrid battery charge level. So we're about half charged right now. And then all the way over here on the right is the gasoline fuel level. So we got a full tank right there. So we do have the digital speedometer, as you can see, and then lots of different displays we can pick from underneath that. This one right here would show us which power unit is powering the vehicle, whether it's the battery pack or the gasoline engine. And then of course there's no tachometer. We've got this little ring that goes around the speedometer. That blue ring kind of shows you how much power the vehicle's putting out at the moment. And then when it goes down into that green section right there, just like it says charge, that means it's charging, and it's showing you kind of how much it's charging. Right here it says we are in P for park, and then it shows you which hybrid mode you are in. EV stands for electric vehicle mode. So as long as there is sufficient charge, the vehicle will start in electric vehicle mode most of the time. And then it will switch between the different driving modes as it needs to. So once it has run out of hybrid battery power in EV mode, it will switch to hybrid drive HV mode. And the gasoline engine will start up and spin the generator to power the electric motor and battery pack, which then in turn powers the wheels. So even though the gasoline engine's running, it's using the electric motor to power the vehicle. And then it can also go into engine drive mode, where the gasoline engine starts up and directly powers the wheels by engaging a clutch pack, and that would typically happen at highway speed. So it can switch between EV mode, hybrid drive mode, and engine drive mode on its own as it needs to, depending on what you're asking the vehicle to do and what the battery pack charge level is. Now these three buttons right here, you can also have some say in what mode it's in by giving the HV button a short push. The system will operate in the most fuel efficient manner possible. And then with it giving it a long push, it's going to use the gasoline engine to power both the vehicle and the generator to recharge the battery pack. So it's going to be running both and basically charging the vehicle as quickly as possible, charging the hybrid battery as quickly as possible. The sport mode, or sport button there, is going to again start up the gasoline engine. It's going to use the gasoline engine and the battery pack to deliver the most amount of power possible for quicker acceleration and merging. And then the economy button there, when you push that, it's going to maximize your battery only driving. So maximize your efficiency while you're in EV mode. We do have all the push button shift here as well. If you're not familiar with that, it has an ECVT. So an electronic continuously variable transmission. And then it lights up to show you what gear you're in, right here on the shift button, and also next to the speedometer. Now it says D for drive there. And then you've got your neutral and reverse. There's kind of a pull back for the reverse. We've got the backup camera here, and we've got our three different camera views: our wide view, our straight back view, and our top down view. The wide view is probably the most useful because it gives you about a 180-degree view off the back bumper, and you can actually see your back bumper right there. And then putting it back into park. All right, now this does charge itself as well, not necessarily just having to be plugged in, but while you're driving, like most other hybrids, it can use regenerative braking. So anytime you're braking or decelerating, it can recharge the battery pack. And you actually can affect how much it is charging the battery pack with these new regen paddles here, this minus and this plus. Now normally in most vehicles those are paddle shifters where you can shift between the different gears in the transmission, but that is not what they do in the Clarity. So the minus is going to give you more regenerative braking. So the minus is more braking, more deceleration with the minus. The plus is going to give you less regenerative braking, less deceleration. So if you think of it in terms of braking, it makes sense. Minus means we're subtracting speed, we're decelerating more, and the plus means we're, adding speed, not necessarily adding speed, but not braking as much and not doing as much regenerative braking. So there's 4 different levels that you can toggle between with the minus and the plus there, 1 through 4. Now when you change the regenerative braking mode and you are in sport mode, it will maintain that regenerative braking setting that you've selected until you change it or until you change driving modes. In any other driving mode, it will automatically go back to the normal setting after a few seconds. So you'd have to pull the negative regenerative braking if you were in a normal driving mode or a driving mode other than sport mode to give you more regenerative braking. All right, let's give you a quick view around the cockpit here. All of your heating and air conditioning functions right down there. Sorry about the sun glare there. So we do have heated seats, heated side mirrors. The touch screen is set up similar to what you're used to if you hit the home button right there. You've got your audio, navigation, phone, info, settings, the Honda Link, which is a free app you can download on your smartphone. I would definitely suggest that, especially with the Clarity, because there's a lot of other functions that go along with it. And then the smartphone connection, once you are plugged in to the USB port, you can use the Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, which is a great, very cool feature. So underneath the shift panel here, we do have this little storage deck down here where we have the power outlet and that USB port that you can plug into to use the Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, and another USB port right over there. We do have electronic parking brake and brake hold. Worth noting, these cup holders are height adjustable. This little piece flips up or down right here. So you can put tall cups in that way or shorter ones in that way. One thing I actually do want to mention with the gas pedal down here. So when you are in EV mode, you can push the gas pedal down to this point that I'm at here, and then let's see if you can hear this clicking. If I push it down farther, it's going to click and engage the gasoline engine. So if you can hear that right there, pushing it past that point where there's that resistance where it clicks is going to engage the gasoline engine to give you the most power. So you know when you're in EV mode where to stop basically if you want to keep it in EV mode. Kind of a neat idea. All right, well I think we've covered pretty much everything worthwhile with the hybrid and unique features on the Clarity, but if you do have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Again, this is Brian, your Honda Connection from Della Honda in Plattsburgh.